The story starts with Guanxin, the main character, riding her scooter along the coastal road. She worked as a delivery person. Right after, a vehicle zoomed by from behind, nearly colliding with Guanxin. Guanxin appeared scornful and remarked on the poor driving skills of this individual. In the vehicle was the meal led by Ling Yu, who is the second son among the three of the Ling family. However, it becomes complex as Lin Yu is a son who was adopted. Guanxin arrived at a company to bring flowers. Unconsciously, she recalled the vehicle's registration number. Spotting the vehicle that nearly hit her earlier at the company's entrance, she quietly mused, "What a small world." Guanxin brought the flowers to the front desk. At the company, Ling Yu was in a conference. The consistently resolute Ling Yu not only held an advanced degree but also had a keen business intellect. At that moment, Ling Yu completed his meeting. The flowers were given to Ling Yu by the secretary, who mentioned they were for tending to his mother's grave. Ling Yu picked up the flowers and rode the elevator down with Guanxin. Guanxin recognized that these were the flowers she had recently brought. Inside the elevator, Guanxin could only view the back of President Ling's head. After that, Ling Yu went to the cemetery, while Guanxin headed back to the delivery station. Guanxin exchanged shifts with colleagues and needed to stay late working overtime. While driving, Ling Yu noticed a surveillance vehicle tailing him and quickly understood that something was off, prompting him to alter his path. It became clear that it was prompted by the eldest brother of the Ling family. The older brother, although lacking education, was intent on putting Ling Yu at risk. However, he soon realized that something was amiss, the brakes had malfunctioned, and he was unable to stop completely. At that moment, a big truck was coming from the front, and Ling Yu steered into the ocean. The two trackers coincidentally witnessed this scene, prompting them to contact the eldest brother. The oldest sibling and the younger brother hurried back to inform their parents. His father collapsed immediately after hearing the news. In the evening, Guanxin was riding her electric scooter on Huanhai Highway after completing her overtime. At that moment, Ling Yu emerged from the ocean and was just onto the road. Guanxin's e-scooter slipped on the pavement and struck Ling Yu once more. Guanxin brought him to the hospital. Ling Yu regained consciousness immediately upon reaching the hospital. However, Ling Yu observed the two individuals following him arrive at the hospital in search of him. He quickly dragged Guanxin in front of him to shield himself. At that moment, a person passed by them and collided with Guanxin, resulting in the pair kissing. Guanxin responded and slapped Ling Yu. The slap made Ling Yu lose consciousness once more. Once the surgery was completed by the doctor, Ling Yu woke up to find Guanxin at his bedside. Ling Yu subsequently inquired about his identity. Guanxin understood that Ling Yu had forgotten everything, so she inquired with the doctor. The physician clarified that the wounds from the fall were merely superficial. Guanxin concluded that her recent slap might have led to this, so she covered his medical bills. Nonetheless, with the surgery cost included, Guanxin couldn't manage it, so she prevented Ling Yu from remaining in the hospital. Ling Yu, nonetheless, had estimated the total compensation and associated fees to reach 300,000 yuan. Guanxin was taken aback. Once she settled the surgery cost, she was left with just over 1,000 yuan. At that moment, her landlord contacted her to raise the rent. Guanxin urged Ling Yu to let him borrow the money temporarily and allowed him to stay at her place. She provided careful attention to him, and Ling Yu concurred. In no time, Ling Yu settled into Guanxin's house. Nevertheless, once Ling Yu settled in, he brought Guanxin considerable distress. At the grocery store, Guanxin aimed to purchase an inexpensive bottle, but Ling Yu was determined to buy a costly one. Guanxin was unable to prevail in the debate with Ling Yu, so she purchased the costly bottle. Guanxin also mocked Ling Yu, referring to him as a coward. Ling Yu noticed this and stated that he needed to borrow Guanxin's phone to search for something. Once Guanxin completed using it, she immediately noticed a swarm of cockroaches on her phone screen as she opened it. It was revealed that Ling Yu had established a program. At this moment, Ling Yu mocked Guanxin for being a coward. Guanxin requested that he take it apart. Guanxin then informed him that she had a day's work ahead and cautioned Lingyu to remain at home and avoid creating any disturbances. In the meantime, chaos erupted at Lingyu's company. Everyone was talking, believing that President Ling had passed away, and with no one overseeing the company, they were hurrying to seek alternatives for themselves. At that time, Lingyu was at home viewing television and noticed a news segment seeking details about President Ling. He realized that the individual in the picture was himself and gagged on his drink. On her way home, Guanxin stumbled upon a small cat and gave it some food. By chance, she noticed a flyer seeking the cat affixed to a utility pole. Upon arriving home, she snapped several pictures of Lingyu. Lingyu inquired about what she was up to. Guanxin mentioned she was searching for his family on his behalf. Upon hearing this, Lingyu instructed her to erase them, stating it was unnecessary. As they grabbed the phone, Guanxin inadvertently tumbled into Lingyu's embrace. An alternate ambience enveloped the surroundings. Out of the blue, the electricity shut off at home. Lingyu inquired whether she had not settled the electricity bill. With no other options available, the two settled on the sofa and exchanged stories. Lingyu observed that Guanxin was adorned with a rather unattractive necklace, and he inquired whether it held any meaning. Guanxin said that her elder brother gifted it to her during her childhood, and it was a bracelet that could eliminate nightmares. She valued her relationship with her brother the most, as he was her closest companion. Lingyu, however, mentioned that was a tale for children. Eventually, as it grew late, they both retired to sleep. The following morning, a number of shareholders assembled at President Ling's father's residence, unexpectedly dividing into groups as Lingyu's future remained unclear. However, President Ling's father mentioned he would provide them with an explanation. Once the shareholders departed, he remembered how his eldest son would always torment Lingyu during his childhood. Following last night's events, Lingyu's perspective on Guanxin became more positive, and their relationship slowly started to improve. In the morning, Guanxin went to work to send a package. Lingyu unintentionally turned off the faucet at home. He just covered it with a fabric and dozed off on the couch. Subsequently, water distributed across the home. Lingyu often envisioned plunging into the water during his childhood. Upon waking and finding the house flooded, he felt a surge of panic and trembled uncontrollably. Guanxin came back home, feeling extremely upset about what happened, but upon noticing Lingyu's odd behavior, she understood he was scared of water. She bought him headphones, and Lingyu's heart instantly relaxed. His emotions upon seeing Guanxin had changed now. He also copied moments of affectionate men from TV. Their relationship switched instantly. That's all for this part. I'll be uploading the next episode soon, so stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed this recap, make sure to give it a thumbs up. See you in the next one.